Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and here we are doing some furniture, and this might look pretty benign and innocent, but this is a fabric that you could really get into a lot of trouble on. I actually was here a few weeks ago, did a couple of tests on it because we had a cushion which is sitting over there that has some very obvious water staining on it, and I tried a couple of things and discovered that they weren't going to come out without some effort. Anyway, now I'm actually across the road from the house where I did the where I restored the chenille and the rayon furniture. I just posted that a week or two ago, and this is actually right across the road from that, so I'm in this neighborhood a fair amount. Now this water stain, which you can see right here a little bit still, is way less obvious than it was. And the issue this fabric has is it is actually an unusual combination. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm going to show you how I'm dealing with this fabric. This is a fabric that you got to be very careful because it will water stain really easily. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to use the SETT method on it, which is soil extraction transfer technology, because I'm keeping the moisture at as low a level as I can. Plus, it's actually in pretty good shape, and only there's a couple of stains on it, which I'm addressing. Actually, that futon had some grease, literally a whole bunch of grease on the corner there, which I had to get out. I used the VDS volatile dry solvent on it, and I was able to get it out, and then I cleaned it. And this is the technique I'm using, so some of you older guys are going to know exactly what I'm up to here. This is not my cleaner. Citric acid. Now you can do the same thing with vinegar, but vinegar is going to smell like vinegar, so that's why I actually use citric acid. Now I'm using, this is Revive Rocket in here, which has both peroxide and citrus. And it's a neutral pH. Now the acetic acid is going to put the pH probably about 5.5 or 6 pH. I'm wanting to clean this on the acid side, so that's why I've done it that way. This will keep any water stain at a minimum, and she's well aware this is a fabric that water stains very easily, and she just said do what you can. Because it already has some obvious water stains, and I'm going to show you a couple in a minute that I haven't got to yet, so we'll get to there in a minute, but I wanted to get around the backside first here. So I put the minimal amount of water on there, and you probably noticed where there's a little bit of drips here and there, how dark it goes, and that usually is going to tell you that you've got rayon. But it's not rayon, according to the label anyway, which actually sort of really surprised me when I saw that. It's like, oh, okay. Now I've run into this fabric, or fabrics like this, before, and I've seen them with water stains on, and it's really difficult to get them off. But when I came here before, I actually put peroxide on to the water stains on that cushion behind me about 2 or 3 times, and then dried it, and although it did improve a little bit, it didn't come up well enough that I said, you know what, I don't want to clean it. It's just not worth it. You can flip the cushion. And then that was a few weeks ago, and then they had some renovating done, and then marks got onto the Futon, and she said, you know what, I want you to clean it. Go ahead and do what you can. Whatever happens, happens. So that's why we're here. So anyway, I wanted to show you this. So bear in mind that, you know, there's guys that have videos where they just hose the furniture down and say, yeah, I just hose it down and I would go to town and whatever. And I see these videos and I'm just horrified to see this, because, well, can you ever get yourself into a lot of trouble really fast if that's the way you approach furniture cleaning? If you don't know what you're doing, a lot of fabrics you can do that to, but a lot of fabrics you can't, and you've got to know the difference. So what is this? So 53% acrylic, 25% polyester, 22% cotton, according to the label. And let's see what it says here. It actually says to clean it with foam. So it says you can clean it with water, even though it water stains like crazy. So here's another water stain. Here, they give you to spill something on this fabric, and that's what's happened. She spilled a few things and tried to wipe it off, and leaves a water stain, and it's virtually impossible to get it off. So here, let's do this. We'll clean this one. We'll do the arm here first, I guess. So this is the citric acid. Now I'm actually going to work it in first. And now I'll put the Revive Rocket on it, and then we'll clean it. Oop. Don't know why it suddenly went out in a stream. I didn't adjust that. I don't want that. But you know what's weird is it turns so dark, like you would expect if there was rayon present, because that's what happens when there's rayon, a lot of rayon on the fabric. But it went dark, so that's a little odd. Cotton wouldn't do that. Polyester wouldn't do that, so I'm guessing that must be the acrylic, which we don't see acrylic as much as we used to. I've cleaned 100% acrylic with no problem. So I don't know, maybe there's something in here that they're not telling us. Maybe it does have rayon. It doesn't smell like it. Rayon has a musty smell when it's wet, so it's interesting. So you would think that a solid fabric like this would be perfectly safe, and it's not. You know, you'd think, well, it's not light enough that any yellowing would really show up, and yet we've got these water stains. I guess something got spilt over here. There's a water stain right here. And what's interesting is when you spray it, sometimes water stains that weren't visible suddenly become visible. Which usually means, and which happened to that cushion over there, after a while, the water staining that may not have disappeared completely with the cleaning and the attempt to remove it sometimes those water stains do disappear after a little while. They sort of fade away, which is actually a characteristic that rayon has. So I'm a little bit mystified by this. And now the thing is, you're thinking, well, you could do a burn test and all that. Well, maybe you could, but the problem is that they typically make these fibers so that they blending different fibers together in the yarn itself, and so you go to burn the yarn and you're going to get a conflicting result where part of it melts and part of it leaves an ash. So that's not the best way to determine, really. I mean, I know that it's a fabric that's a problem to deal with anyway, so I'm just cleaning it according to all those precautions, as you can see. I know it's a problem fabric. It appears that this water stain is, I think, coming out. I may have to put some peroxide on here. We're going to go and take a look at that other cushion over there in a sec, because I had put peroxide on there. And I've got it in the exhaust of the vacuum there to dry it off quickly. Actually looking pretty good. So let's go and take a look at the cushion. Definitely looking better. I think we're winning. I'm recording what I'm doing. That's okay. I didn't show you yet. I'm just showing what I'm doing here. I'll let you go. I'll go talk to my customer here.